Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about the psychological phenomenon called hedonic adaptation, or also called the hedonic treadmill. I will explain why it's called a treadmill and how being in that treadmill can lead to addictions. And I will then show you how you can make sure that you get out of that treadmill. Hedonic adaptation, also called hedonic treadmill, basically means that no matter how hard we try to increase our happiness through external means, we will end up getting back to where we started, to our set point of happiness. So that means we can't really increase our happiness in the long run through external means, because we will get desensitized to these external stimuli. Meaning, when we, for example, eat, sweets all the time, or we take drugs, or we watch porn, we will eventually get to a point where we don't get as much pleasure from that anymore as, in the beginning. And so we either be like, okay, this is not giving me any pleasure anymore. We go to the next thing that might give us more pleasure, or we need to increase the dose. And that actually might lead to a point where we get addicted to it. Because the more, if we need more sweets, if we need more alcohol, more drugs, more extreme porn, we might get to a point where this is becoming a habit and we create an addiction, which in the end, will not make us happier in the long run, as we all know, but will actually make us miserable. Because what we often don't understand and don't realize is that striving for that pleasure is also the root cause of creating pain in our life. Right? I mean, like we all probably experienced it on New Year's morning. We went out partying and going wild the whole night, and then the next day, the first day of the year, is the most terrible year because we feel terrible and have a hangover and everything, and so the year starts with a lot of pain. But the root cause of it is because we were striving for that extreme pleasure the night before. But it can also be some more everyday things like the sunlight. Like for me, I came from Germany, where we don't have that much sunshine, especially not in the winter month. And I moved to Los Angeles. And when I first got here, I was like, wow, the sun is so amazing. I love it. I wanted to spend, as much time in the sun as possible. And over time, I got desensitized. I was like, it didn't give me that much of a happiness feeling and of a pleasure anymore. And actually got to a point where it was a little bit annoying if it's too hot outside, or if I get sunburned all the time, or, need to wear shades all the time. It's, it's not that pleasureful anymore. And it can actually, or it got actually to a point where it was painful as well. Because of, the sunburn, and in the long run, my skin is probably not going to like it if you're out in the sun too much. But we are often not aware of the pains that it comes with, and we therefore strive for only that pleasure without any pain. We strive for a one-sided world, which is not obtainable. There is no such thing, as like an ultimate pleasure. Nobody has achieved that yet. We always, we go through ups and downs. We have pleasure and then pain, pleasure and pain. But the more we strive for that extreme pleasure and create that addiction where we need more and more of it, the more we attract the pain on the other side as well. And what some philosophers call our lower mind, always wants that quick, immediate pleasure, and it wants to avoid the pain immediately. But our higher mind, or also called our higher self, actually knows that that pleasure comes with pain. It's aware of both sides of it. And it focuses more on following what's more meaningful in life and what's the purpose in life. So a way to get out of that treadmill where we always need more and more of that pleasure and we strive for that which is actually not obtainable because, we won't sustain that feeling of pleasure forever, and it won't increase our level of happiness in the long run. The more we are stuck in there, the more we are basically, living in an illusion. And the way out, as I said, is just by finding what is more meaningful and purposeful in life, or by getting aware of the other side. Because when we actually see and realize and understand that, we will have a lot of pains from that thing, that stimulus that we go after, and we can see a perfect balance of the pleasures and pains, then it's easier for us to let it go, to be like, okay, no, I'm not gonna go after this pleasure here right now. I just rather focus on what's more important to me. I mean, that doesn't mean we shouldn't have any pleasures in life anymore. And pleasures, come our way anyways, and they have all kinds of forms that it comes in. But it means that we don't want to strive for it that much anymore, and to be in that illusion that we think we can have more and more of that external happiness, right? But rather learn to look inside and to become grateful for what we have and what is, and then build up on that. And the more we are, therefore, actually living our purpose and are focused on our mission, or what is most important to us, the more we are not distracted by the pleasures or the pains anymore, and the more we can embrace both sides. We can embrace the pleasures and the pain, but we still stay focused and we keep going. Whereas if we just strive for that next pleasure again and again, we will get distracted because it comes with the pain, and that takes us away from doing the things that are most important to us. So that is my message here, is if you want to get out of that hedonic treadmill and become aware of that hedonic adaptation mechanism that is always trying to get us back into balance, where we see that the pleasure comes with the pain and the pain comes with the pleasure, then make sure you follow the things more that are most inspiring and important to you, and that way you won't get distracted. You can easier say no to the pleasures, to the distractions outside, and you also don't get too distracted from the pains that come your way inevitably as well. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you don't want to miss any future videos anymore, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and also activate the notification bell, and that will also help me to reach more people so that they can benefit from the tips and knowledge that I'm sharing as well.